Nubreed, Global Truth. What's good, everybody? It's your brother Nubreed coming through with another live stream, and it's going down in Los Angeles. Ladies and gentlemen, these riots are getting more severe by the hour, and there's a lot of live coverage going on right now. All of social media is talking about this particular topic. I purposely waited for a few days, and a lot of people demanded or requested that I would speak about this. And of course, I'm going to have an opinion that a lot of others don't have, as well as I'm going to bring out information that a lot of you all haven't heard. Now, right now, as we speak, the US government, the Trump administration to be exact, is considering invoking the Insurrection Act. As you see on your screen, look on your screen. If you look by the chat of this particular video, they are asking the US citizens if Trump should invoke the Insurrection Act against rioters in LA. Now, why are they doing that? Because they want the people to vote for the military to come through and start airing people out. See, they want the blood to be on our hands. So even on YouTube, on social media, you see them asking us if they should invoke the Insurrection Act. And in case you don't know what that act is, let me just give you a brief rundown on it. The Insurrection Act is basically, I got some literature that I'm going to be reading to y'all, but it is a act. It's the same law used to send military forces on U.S. soil. Trump invoking it in L.A. martial law by another name, pretty much. So what is used to deal with, hold on, let me get this. Let me full screen everything so I can see properly. And I want everybody to hit the like button on your way in. So basically, they invoke this act when there's a rebellion or uprising. It prevents enforcement of U.S. laws. If a state requests help to stop an uprising, if violent obstruction of federal authority is happening. So it gives them legal grounds to come through and do whatever they want to do. So now let me see here. I see brothers and sisters rolling in. Peace and blessings to y'all. What's going on, Wanda, Linwood, Tanya, Dublin, Fitzpatrick? Yeah, it's getting crazy out there. So I want y'all to kind of see what's going on. I mean, there's a lot of live coverage right now as we speak. That's the live coverage here, but I'm going to take you to another video here. Let's go.
Fast-moving developments in Los Angeles. Today, protesters were back out on the streets for the third consecutive day. President Trump deployed some 2,000 National Guard members in response to violence and chaos in the city. Those troops descended on the streets of L.A. Governor Gavin Newsom is blasting the move, calling it, quote, purposefully inflammatory and an alarming abuse of power. Nearly a dozen people were arrested overnight as some protesters tossed objects at officers. Police used tear gas and flashbang grenades to disperse the crowd.
Now, I want to make this very clear. You know, a lot of people have different things to say regarding this matter. You know, I want to be very, very clear about this because a lot of people want to know what my thoughts are. And allow me to explain this to you. A lot of people look at it as simply, you know, things are just popping off and they see in the headlines, they see in the images. But you know what a lot of people are not telling you what's really going on behind the scenes. Right now, brothers and sisters, you got a whole wave of immigrants, people from all walks of life rising up in the streets of LA. But what the mainstream media is calling it is riots, chaos. But brothers and sisters, what you really seeing is pushback against the beast system. You got to understand something. When a system oppresses people long enough, when you ice raid their homes, when you target people, random people, I'm talking about these people have been packing up people who not even immigrants. You know how many cases where people have got packed up and sent off? They're not even immigrants. So I know a lot of people are looking at it like, well, you know, they're just illegal immigrants. First of all, look, let me educate you, brothers and sisters. Because when a system oppresses people long enough, people going to stand up. And Exodus 22 and 21 says, "Thou shalt not neither vex a stranger nor oppress him, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt." So the way that they're doing these people, they're vexing them. And here's the crazy part of it. They're considered strangers of the land, aka immigrants. But what if I told you they own the Spanish people owned Los Angeles at one point? This land was stolen from them. I said the land was stolen from them. See, we can't talk about white supremacy without talking about how they affected everyone. And this may not be a popular opinion, you know, but I'm just going to call it like it is. Let's just bring the facts. The original land indigenous to Mexican rule. Let's read here. I got articles, I got facts, I got history on this. Before any European power, the LA Basin was home to the Tongva people, aka the Gabrielinos. They lived here for thousands of years. In the late 1700s, Spain colonized California. So y'all got to understand, Spain colonized the original tribe of Issachar as well, the Spaniards. They're really not Spanish people. They are the tribe of Issachar biblically. But Spain colonized California, establishing missions and settlements. By 1821, after Mexico gained independence from Spain, California became part of Mexico. The region was called Alta California. So my question is, how are you gathering up these people, you know, packing them up, shipping them off, and they actually owned this land at one point? Talk to me. Talk to me. So what you really see is these people pushing back, but we're not getting the full story in the news. We're not getting the full story. No, these people are just gravitating and migrating back home. I mean, how can some people who came out of the Caucasus, who never had a homeland, how could they tell people where they designated to thrive at? Explain that to me. It would be an ultimate fallacy in the eyes of the public if I got on here and said all white people need to be deported. People would be pretty pissed off at Nubreed. So we're talking about people who once owned the land. And there's so much literature regarding this. You got the Rancho era, where Mexicans owned the land in 1830s through the 1840s. Mexican land grants were issued. The Mexican government gave out huge tracts of land called ranchos to Mexican citizens. Many were former soldiers or elites. Families like the the Sepulveda Pico and the Dominguez family controlled massive estate across the LA Basin. Rancho San Pedro, 75,000 acres was granted to Manuel Dominguez, whose family dominated the LA area. Rancho Los Feliz, Rancho Las Brie, Rancho San Rafael, all Mexican owned land. Los Angeles belongs to Mexicans. But like the conquerors, what they do is they want to take everything. We talking about these people are known for global dominance. We talking about these people are known to take, pillage people of their land. And this is no different what you see going on. It's just that the people are pushing back. They're revolting against Babylon. But you got to see it for what it is. Let's go.
Newsom today met with LAPD, LA County deputies, and state emergency leaders as tensions remain high. He says, quote, "We're here to keep the peace, not..."
And let's make it clear. There were light-skinned Mexicans. There were dark-skinned Mexicans. I see the brother in the chat says they were dark-skinned Mexicans. Yes, they were Mexicans of all shades and colors until the Spaniards colonized them. There are Mexicans with darker hue and there's Mexicans with lighter hue. But let's continue.
Play into Trump's political games. And tonight, the Trump administration says California officials could face federal charges over their response. Here's ABC's Alex Stone with the details.
Tonight, more violence erupting on the streets of Los Angeles. Protests ballooning over a big portion of downtown LA and onto the 101 freeway, shutting it down. Hundreds of National Guard troops now on the streets to deal with the clashes along with members of the LAPD and the California Highway Patrol. This video shows a protester throwing rocks at federal vehicles leaving the area. Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino asking the public for help in identifying the person. Mayor Karen Bass speaking.
Yo, it looked like a war zone out there. It's really getting crazy out there. And, I said at the beginning of the summer that Los Angeles is going to be the next place. You're going to see more things taking place in New York as well. I mean, look, the scriptures really break things down to us, what's happening in real time. And the Bible tells us in Jeremiah 22, verse 3, thus saith the Lord, execute ye judgment and righteousness and deliver the spoil out of the hands of the oppressor. Listen, I know a lot of people, are trying to stay out of it, don't want to speak on this. And yes, I do consider myself a foundational Black American, also known as an Israelite, a Judite. And a lot of people would, more than likely want me to, keep my opinions to myself regarding this matter. But the way I look at it is like this, right? I know that the Spanish people have helped build this country up. And yes, it's true. When we're going through something as melanated people, they don't speak on our behalf. They don't speak up. They don't come to our defense. And that's the issue that a lot of brothers and sisters have, right? When we have in our situation, when we're having our plight, you don't see the Hispanics speaking on our behalf, right? But see, the way I look at this is a little bit bigger. I can see beyond that. What I see is if they can do this to the Spanish people who were hardworking citizens, who did help pave the highways, who did till the soil and do a lot of the farmland, when what the hell you think they're going to do to us? If they do them like that, I know they hate us. So sometimes we better together than apart. Sometimes I believe that, it's better to unify opposed to look at it like, you know what I'm saying? Well, they got their own issues. Nah. Babylon loved to chew up and spit out the people who built it. As soon as they get enough AI, they ready to pack us up. And they ain't going to just pack us up. If they packing us up, they putting us in graves. If I'm being 100 with you, they going to put hot ones in us when they done with us. So I look at it like 12 tribes, one nation. Let's go. And there's people who are Hispanic people. There's people who are considered Mexican people that I rock with. And they rock with me. They love my platform. And, I've had conversation with a lot of the brethren on their side. And it is what it is. Let's go. Look at this, man. Look at it like a war zone, man.
Mayor Karen Bass speaking out.
I was hoping to prevent this situation from happening. I was trying to encourage the administration that if they deployed the National Guard in Los Angeles, it would create a sense of chaos. It's the last thing our city needs.
A convoy of heavily armed troops establishing staging areas at downtown federal buildings. President Trump calling up 2,000 members of the Guard, looking to end clashes that broke out this weekend between law enforcement and demonstrators. The tensions boiling over after immigration authorities conducted a series of sweeps arresting over 100 immigrants in L.A. over the past week. The president bypassing California's governor, authorizing the troop deployment for 60 days late Saturday, saying in a memo the protests, quote, constitute a form of rebellion against the United States.
See, he's going to make it look like their right to protest is an act of, you know what I'm saying, T-ism. And they're going to start normalizing martial law. They're going to start normalizing military taking to the streets, wiping people out. The scriptures tell you like this. In Deuteronomy 27:19, cursed be he that perverteth the judgment of the stranger, fatherless and widow, and all the people shall say amen. Yo, cursed be Donald Trump. Straight up. Cursed be that perverteth the judgment of the stranger. They vexing the strangers. They attacking, they are engaging them in warfare. They engaging the fatherless and the widows. And all the people, we should be in agreement with that. According to the Bible, we should be in agreement that we shouldn't stand for that. We should be in agreement that it's cursed be to the perverted judgment. So that I'm clear. Not in agreement with what he's doing, but in agreement with the curse that he's placing on himself. We should say amen to these people being cursed. Right? Family, the judgment already here. It's already here. Let's go.
In a joint statement, 22 Democratic governors called President Trump's deployment of the National Guard an alarming abuse of power. The president saying he has not ruled out a suggestion by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth of mobilizing active duty Marines if the clashes continue.
I mean, if we see danger to our country and to our citizens, we'll be very, very strong in terms of law and order.
It's problem, reaction, solution. They said if we see danger, then we're going to be very strong. Well, y'all created the damn danger. You know, they create the problem, get a reaction, and then, you know, they become the solution. And the solution is doing what? Bringing out the 9mm, the shotguns, the machine guns, and taking to the streets. Gracias, amigo. Said Nubreed, you nailed it, amigo. That's what's going on right now. They set up the chaos, and now they want to bring order. Yeah, you got LA looking like Palestine right now. This is off the chain. Now you got Trump sending troops. You got the National Guard's boots on the ground. Martial law moves in plain sight. You know why, though? Because the people fed up. This is an uprising. It ain't about left or right. It ain't about Democrat or Republican. It's about oppression. And the people saying enough is enough. But of course the media are going to try to spin it. And what they doing? Using more chaos to bring more surveillance, more control, and more of a police state. That's what's happening. Straight up. Let's go. Let's go.
The Defense Department confirming 500 Marines are on standby. The president posting on social media instructing his administration to, quote, take all necessary actions to liberate Los Angeles from the migrant invasion. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And here at home, there was a local response to the protests happening in Los Angeles as immigrant advocates hold their own rallies and demonstrations. Sunday marked day 2 of a 3-day immigrant rights walk led by families and allies opposed to the Trump administration's.
And, you know, people have the right to protest. That's the First Amendment. So, you know, these people are not breaking any laws. And I told y'all before the summer started, when they started passing those laws so that, or those bills rather, so military can execute complete judgment. Listen, right now, this should be a call to awareness, man. We got to stay woke in our spirits. This is just the beginning. The immigrants rising up in LA is a microcosm of what's coming across Babylon. Y'all gonna see chaos all around the states 24/7. Every news station gonna look like a war zone because the people of they tired of unrighteous decrees. They tired of being treated like cattle. People are tired of being disposable. And that's exactly what they did. They treated the Hispanic people like they were disposable. These people built this country up just like we did. Of course, black Americans built the country up in totality. I mean, we did it all. But the Hispanics helped. Make no mistake about that. And just because they migrated back home, because places like Arizona, Texas, Los Angeles, these were their homelands. It's only natural for somebody to migrate back home. The white man didn't own these places. They didn't own these places. Look, the scriptures tell you, because look, I'm going to get to that scripture, but I want y'all to understand this. The enemy will use this chaos to tighten his grips up. Jeremiah 22:3. Thus saith the Lord, execute ye judgment and righteousness and deliver the spoils out of the hand of the oppressor. Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is power in their hands. They use in their power. Let's go.
Immigration policies and how they're being enforced. Altogether, some 200 marchers will walk in total about 50 miles in the hot sun from the Vacaville area to the state capitol here in Sacramento. The group is standing in solidarity with the hundreds of protesters who have gathered in downtown Los Angeles since Friday. And they say they're against President Trump's move to send the National Guard in response.
I feel like it's unnecessary.
Now, y'all got to look at why he sent the National Guard. This is an absolute travesty. So, ladies and gentlemen, our amendments are definitely on attack. You telling me that these people who protested deserve to get the National Guard? But now, mind you, months ago, there was some very peaceful protests where there was white people. What was the name of that protest, y'all? That happened like, I don't know, it was like a month ago. If y'all know the name of that protest that just took place, let me know. But it was very peaceful and it was organized and it was worldwide. I mean, not worldwide, but nationwide. And there was no National Guard that got sent. These people don't deserve this. And regardless of what you brothers and sisters think, white America don't accept these Hispanic people as their own. They do not. Listen, Hispanics and blacks still make up majority of the prison population. These people are not accepted in society. Why are we so happy with being divided? Like, I don't get it. Yeah, somebody said they're using the most humble. I don't know what you mean by that, God first. Let's go.
Necessary.
That's very unnecessary. This is what sparked the riots. These people just protesting. You send the National Guard, yeah, people gonna fight. You send the troops because they're exercising their right to protest, which is the First Amendment. You send your troops and people are going to fight back. And that's what's happening. They burning cars. They burning listen, anybody who come through there, any news people that come through, there's a lot of raw footage floating all over the internet. Now, I'm not saying that destroying the city is right, but in war, something going to get destroyed, Octavia. In war, something fitting to get destroyed. War is not pretty. And those people was well within their right to keep the First Amendment, the right to protest. And now look what's going on. Now people are pushing back.
against President Trump's move to send the National Guard in response.
I feel like it's unnecessary, but it doesn't surprise me. Our communities have been experiencing suffering at the hands of law enforcement and those who align with them since the Zoot Suit riots.
Now, listen. Let me see. A young lady says, "You think they like you? You are crazy." Well, it's not about who likes who. This is about right and wrong, and this is about our amendments. These people have the right to protest. Don't you want the right to protest? It's not about who likes who. I don't care nothing about that. We keeping it very logical on this side. And believe it or not, these marginalized communities, such as the Hispanic community, they have issues too by the hands of police, law enforcement, and the government. Sometimes we hone in on our own plight and we don't realize there's other people dealing with the white supremacy as well. Somebody said you can't protest if you're here illegally. Well, a lot of these people, listen, there's not people who are just illegals. You got to listen, you got to look at what's going on in the news. How many people are getting harassed? How many people are walking in fear? How many people are just getting literally, listen, let me explain how this works, right? Let me break this down to you. They got to use some type of front in order to engage people. And this whole illegal immigrant thing, look, they really don't like the Hispanic people at all. And if they can find something to engage black folks, they're going to do that too. That's why you see black fatigue going everywhere. We're not the only ones these people want to get rid of. This is the reason y'all see them dehumanizing black folks, claiming that everybody's tired of us. This is the reason why they making us believe we couldn't have jobs because Mexicans taking all the jobs. That's bullish. We didn't have jobs because they made it a certain way. I mean, I'm just saying. If they'll do it to us, if they'll do it to them, they'll do it to us. Now, of course, I'm all for keeping the law. And, the crazy part is that person said they illegal, but I just proved to you historically that they own LA. Illegal how? I mean, do you need more facts on it? We got the Rancho San Pedro era where they own most of LA. Or how about the U.S. invasion and treaty of Guadalupe? A lot of y'all didn't know that in 1846 through 1848, the U.S. invaded Mexico during the Mexican-American War. So a lot of the places actually belong to them. Listen, under the Treaty of Guadalupe, Hidalgo, 1848, Mexico seceded California. And more to the U.S., the treaty guaranteed that Mexican landowners would keep their property. But through legal manipulation, high taxes, fraud, and violence, most lost their land within a few decades. So you know what the white man did? He made a deal with the Mexicans, and he does what he does. He betrayed them. He betrayed them. So when we talk about them being illegal immigrants, I'm not trying to hear none of that. White people are illegal immigrants, if you want to say that. What are you talking about? They came over here and took this land from all the indigenous people. And they broke every single deal that they made. That's what the white man do. He break treaties. Let me see. Michigan May says, y'all will be claiming racism, police brutality when they start focusing directly on y'all instead of the illegal. Stay out of it. I'm not staying out of nothing. I'm going to say what I want to say. And I'm going to give you history. You can agree to disagree. I don't care. But the facts is the facts. Let's go.
And I think that we're better suited to resist now.
And organizations say they are united in their communities and families, and they are not going to stop organizing and supporting each other. Tomorrow, at least.
That's right. They on code. I think something happened with Dr. Pepper, or was it Pepsi? Or no, it was Coca-Cola. When the Mexican people says, look, they not gonna drink Coca-Cola no more, Pepsi's was flying off the shelf. You know why? Because when they start coming together, they come together. Let me see. Blessed Be Me says in 1929, during the Depression, the U.S. government sent millions of Mexicans back to Mexico under Operation Wetback so whites can have jobs. Wow. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Now I got to put that in. Operation Wetback. Let me see if you're telling the truth. Because I heard that is a derogatory term for Mexicans, but let me put that in there. Let's look that up. Yes. Oh, wow. Wow. A Operation Wetback, a U.S. government mass deportation program launched in 1954 under President Dwight D. Eisenhower, removed Mexican immigrants, both undocumented and legal residents, from the U.S. Now, let me repeat that. This is what they did. I believe Trump is pulling another D. Eisenhower. It says remove Mexican immigrants, both undocumented and legal residents, from the U.S. During World War II, the U.S. had created the Barricino program, or the Barrico program. Pardon me. Legal Mexican farm workers were brought in to fill labor shortages. After the war, demands for cheap labor remained, but anti-immigrant sentiments rose. Border enforcement increased, and mass deportation plans were created. Listen to the key areas, y'all. June 1954, Operation Wetback began. U.S. Border Control Patrol military units and local police swept through California, Texas, Arizona, and Illinois. See, Southwest and Midwest. It's the same damn thing over again, except this time people not having it. This time people finna fight. I mean, I'm just covering the news. Yeah, Operation Wetback is crazy. That's an actual thing, y'all. And y'all think that these people, listen, y'all think that these people ain't repeating the same thing? Bianca says she live in Illinois and she swears this is symbolic. Yeah, this is something. Let's go.
At least 2 other rallies are planned. Walkers will end their demonstration at the Capitol at 4 p.m. tomorrow, and another rally is planned at Cesar Chavez Plaza at.
Yeah, they getting their march on now. There's more news because it's getting very violent out there in them streets. In case y'all don't see what's going on, let's go to some of this live coverage here. I don't think they'll let me rewind, but. And what I'll do is I'll just take the sound off of that so we can kind of see live coverage. I mean, people are taking to the streets. It's packed. As you can see, the highways are pretty much shutting down. They're trying to get people to vote on extermination, because that's what's going to happen if the mass majority agree that Trump should invoke Insurrection Act, because the Insurrection Act can get real violent. And get real violent. Like, look at all the police that's in the streets. I mean, there's gonna come a time in America where every news station gonna look like this in most states. And most states is gonna look like this. And everybody, let's get the likes up. You know what I'm saying? I'm bringing y'all information. I'm giving you a point of view that not everybody have. People can agree to disagree. You know, I know some of my FBA brothers, they see things one way, and I see it another way. It is what it is. One love to them. I like a lot of what they say, but I have my opinions on this situation. And I believe that this is a product of white supremacy too. And this is what it looks like when a so-called white man is ready to engage. He brings his military to the streets, and it is what it is. These are people who once owned this land. So let me see. Somebody says, for all you know, he think they're in the right. Please go around the world and sneak into China, India, just name a few and come back to the US. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that. Now, here's some key facts here. Operation Wetback was a blueprint for modern deportation tactics. ICE raids today follow very similar sweep and grab patterns. The militarization of immigrants enforcement echoes Operation Wetback. It's the same thing. Many Latinos in LA have family histories tied to this drama. The same spirit of oppression is moving again, y'all. Same spirit of oppression. I'm telling you. Let me see. Somebody says the real black Mexicans are cool. It's always been the white ones with that BS. Well, look, people come in all shades and colors. You can have a Mexican with lighter pigmentation. That's cool. Like, listen, let's not judge things off of skin color. Like, we way beyond that. We got to be way beyond that. Now, when you listen to my platform, you got to understand my thought process is I understand that we come in all shades and colors. But look at what's going. Look, man, look at this. There's bottles being thrown. It's getting crazy out there. Do you think these martial law troops, do you think these white supremacists give a damn about skin complexion? No. Whoever's standing with the Mexican community, that's who they going after. They don't care about their skin complexion. Because this is not about skin complexion, ladies and gentlemen. This is about good versus evil. This ain't about skin complexion. This is about the dominant race trying to secure their dominance. Yeah, evil don't care about skin complexion. Evil care about supremacy. Yeah. Hey, look, the scriptures tell us in Ecclesiastes 1:9, the thing that have been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. Which means the system doing the same thing. This Operation Wetback all over again. We're gonna see less farmland, more chaos. I'm talking about, man, whoever gave me that source about Operation Wetback, I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for that. Martin says, you really helping the universe. May God continue to bless you. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Let me see something. Look, the feed got knocked off. What happened? Of course, I'm gonna bring y'all some more live coverage. Don't y'all worry. I'm pretty sure there's more live coverage as I chop it up with y'all, and y'all can feel free to click the link to join the chat if you want. I'll share that here in a moment. Yeah, it's getting crazy out there. Yeah. Man, it been raining so much out here in Georgia, bro. It's raining every day. It's raining right now. Oh, look, let me go ahead and place my vote. No. I just want to see what they say. Look, 73% of the people says Trump should invoke the Insurrection Act against rioters. So that's what they're leaning towards. That is definitely what they're leaning towards.
He just listened. I mean, the main thing he said was he appreciated that
Look
there
how
was a
many
call for
proud
nonviolence
Americans
and
there
I'm
are.
not sure what was expected, but I was encouraging him not to deploy.
How many of y'all feel like this is a good move for America? Let me see, Mr. B. Let me do you a favor. I don't even have to respond to you. That's what I do. Yeah, just get you on up out of there. Damn it. It gotta be very, very frustrating to try to get a point across and say something, and you don't even get heard. You just get blocked. Like you get sniped out. Like security just come grab you and drag you out the whole room. They don't even respond to you. It's just like, oh, let me get you out of here. And then you didn't even get to be successful in causing no, because that's how we do it. You ain't even get successful in causing no distraction, really. Like if you out and about, right, and we having an event and somebody get to popping off, right? Security do a good job when security just grab him up, quietly drag him out the room. Like quietly just drag him on out. Know what I'm saying? That's how you know it's good security, because now everything else is flowing properly and everybody else is still having a good time. That's how you do it. Let me see if I can find some coverage showing what's going on in them streets, though. Let's get to it. Yeah, man, it's getting crazy out there. Here we got some live footage. Yeah, look at all them red and blue lights. Angela Rose says you didn't build America, amigo. Yeah, sure we did. It's probably the same person trolling. Let me see. Let me share the link here if anybody want to share their thoughts on this. All the FBA brothers, y'all welcome. All the people who have their thoughts. I mean, listen, this is what we do on this channel. I have my opinions. I see the things how they are, but I also bring some facts. I might have brought a couple insertions there, and for me, this is nothing personal. I don't. It's not about if how I feel about Spanish people. It's about what's right and what's wrong. You know, y'all welcome to join. Nah, FBAs are cool. FBAs are cool. We from the foundation. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem with them. They just see this situation different than I see it. Ain't nothing to it. That don't change me from being FBA. Let's see. Jerry's in the building. What up, Jerry?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How's it going?
Yeah, man. So I'm a big fan of your show, man. I live in Miami and there's a lot of Cubans anti-black because in their culture they have colorism
Mm.
and they're very racist, man. So I don't even feel bad. I did feel bad at one time, but I don't feel bad that Trump is sending them back to their country because I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm Haitian, but I'm Haitian American. My people's from Haiti, but at the same time, I'm still black. So I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm black, I'm better than a Jamaican or FBA. You know what I'm saying? I think we all won. You know what I'm saying? Because if we go to prison, we both got to watch each other back.
Okay, so in regards to Cubans, you said that there's some colorism issues.
Yeah, there's a lot of I'm not gonna lie to you because I don't know if you heard the story about Dominicans and Haitians, like how they treating the Dominicans, how they treating the
Absolutely,
Haitians.
I have.
They're,
Yeah, a lot of ethnic purging. Yeah, I know all about that.
yeah, so they like if you look up the history that we freed the Dominicans from slavery twice. The first time that we freed them from slavery, and I don't know too much about that, but I know the second time their own president sent them back to slavery. Their own president.
Right.
The first time, I don't know too much about it.
Now, Jerry, let me ask you a question, brother.
Yeah,
Now,
go ahead.
due to your personal experience living in Miami, which I see somebody in the chat that can actually validate that they experienced the same thing. But I want to ask you this. Although that was your personal experience with Cuban people, right? People from a different ethnic persuasion treating you a certain way. Let me ask you,
Yeah.
do you believe that is right for the National Guard to be launched because somebody practiced the First Amendment, which is the right to protest?
No, I don't think that's right. But at the same time, the First Amendment was FBA because you guys started the First Amendment. That's why I have my people that's here. They're able to come to the country. So I appreciate that from the FBA, but the Spanish people, they don't care about that, about you FBA helping them. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I had some Spanish people, like Cuban people, that told me personally in my face when they asked me about what's my background, I tell them, oh, I'm Haitian American. They would tell me, you know what they would tell me?
What's
Man,
that?
I love Haitian people. They're very good people. I hate Black Americans. They're lazy. They're no good. I swear to God, Nubreed. They would tell me that in my face.
Right, I understand that.
They tell yes.
I understand that, and that's something right there. I can understand how that's a dramatic experience, and I want to read this person's comment real
They will
quick.
pick and choose.
Real quick.
They'll pick and choose who they like. But I'm not with that.
Understood. Jordan Anthony says, FBA, stay out of it. We got our own flight while others try belittling us. God be with them, but Judah, stay out. Now, listen, I'm going to make this clear. My job as a content creator is to cover the news, exactly facts, what's real. And the truth is, yes, they owned Los Angeles at one point. And I'm only simply looking at how the white supremacists treat other people. The unfair treatment. Now, let me say this. Other than that, for me, it's not a personal thing. And here's the elephant that's in the room. Yes, my wife is Hispanic, and that is what it is.
Yeah, I know. I seen her.
My personal experience with Hispanic people has always been good. Now, my experiences I experienced a lot of them was in San Antonio, Texas. Always, it was a good experience with those people. There was a Black and brown connection during that time, and we stuck together. When I spent time, when I used to get in trouble, it was a black and brown connection. We stayed together. That's my personal experience. But even without my personal experience involved in this, all I can resort to is actual facts. The facts that they had an agreement that they own Los Angeles. The white man reneged on their agreement. The white man did what the white man did, and now he wants to practice his unilateral power.
And Nubreed, I'm sorry to cut you off, brother, but you know what? They love the colonizer. They love the white man. If you come to Miami, you're gonna see how they treat white people. And then when they look at you like they want to kill you, Nubreed. I swear, come to Miami and see how these Spanish people, how they roll, man. These people are anti-black, nasty people, man. Come to Miami one day. Just come to Dade. Come to Dade or go to Broward.
Right.
You're gonna see how these Spanish people, you're gonna see how they really, they'll look at you like they want to fight you, Nubreed. I carry a pocket knife, pepper spray. I had some immigrants try to jump me in the bus.
Right.
come to you. You said you've been to Miami, right?
Yes, I have. Yep.
Okay, so you already know how you seen what how you seen how they roll, right? How they'll look at you, right?
Yes. I mean, again, my personal experience, I don't really want to put that in the issue. That's the thing. Your personal experience is yours and mine is mine. But I like to stay on the facts of what's happening, like news wise. If they do it to them, what would they do to us? That's how I always look at things.
And
Now,
and and I
somebody,
and I do
somebody.
security.
Now,
I had
I do want to address something you said though, brother, real quick. I do want to address something you said about how they treat white people. And you know what? Those people who
man,
have
I'm not gonna
partiality.
lie to you.
Hold on, brother. Let me finish my thought. Let me get this out because I'm gonna make
My
a
bad.
really good point right now. The people who did treat these people and put them on a pedestal and they treat others wrong, look, they're gonna get what they get. You know what I'm saying? I can't control everything. I'm not trying to vouch for all these people as a whole. I don't know all these people.
I'm not gonna
So,
lie. They love the
so if
white
they,
skin.
yeah, if they get betrayed by the people that they idolize, that's on them. But there are good people in in every race group we have on this earth, brother. There's good people, and there's innocent people, and there's family people, and there's people who's not racist, and there's people who, you know what I'm saying, that should go without saying. But sometimes our personal experiences could really
Yeah.
levy a lot of levy a lot of thoughts on how we see things. Now, I'm only talking about this situation from a biblical perspective and a current events perspective, but I do appreciate this conversation, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
let other brothers on. So I want them to share what they thoughts on it. You know,
I'm not
listen,
trying to
yeah, you go ahead.
I'm not trying to put my bad experience on you because we have two different experiences, but I'm trying to tell you like these people are very anti-black and colorism, man. I do security, man. I had Mexican people come to the concert, call me a puta, a maricon. I had them curse me out in Spanish for no reason.
Right.
So I don't feel bad for them.
Okay. Well, great,
But
brother. Thank you.
thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you, brother. All right, that was a good call. Hey, listen, I want y'all to be able to come over here and speak y'all's mind. You know what I'm saying? Everybody have the right to have their opinion on a scenario. And I invite all of that, right? 25, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
How's it going?
I got a something kind of different to say, bro. I'm from Columbus, Ohio, originally from New York, but I live in Southern Ohio now. What I got a bone to pick with, bro, is I'm FBA, but I do not understand these FBA dudes like Tariq Nasheed, Afro Elite, Black Alpha, Ricky Manna, some Lisa, all these people, all these FBA dudes, they love Trump. And you can't tell me different. Trump, 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 Trump. And then they sound like white supremacists, bro. And what I'm gonna say is if you watch their shows and their talking points, they talk like white supremacists.
Now,
And I live in Southern Ohio where white supremacy is very bad. We have Aryan, Klan, all of it. And when you listen to the Aryan Nation and the Klan talk about Mexicans and black people, that's how these FBA dudes sound. They
what
sound
20
the very same way.
what 25? I wanna interject for a moment. I don't have no disrespect towards Tyreek or any other brothers who are speaking in the FBA spaces. And I don't want to turn this
Right,
into just
right,
personally
right,
targeting people. And their work, the work that they do and the work I decide to do may be different, but I feel like everybody's voice is needed because we can have these type of conversations and we can unify and come and actually congregate. We can delineate on things. And then, and I feel like that's what we're doing right now. We're delineating on the situation, on the scenario that's going on. And it ain't no real need to, downplay other FBAs. You yourself, 25, says that you're FBA. So,
right, right, right.
essentially it's not about downplaying brothers. I just have a different opinion than they have. in regards to this situation. When I say they, I mean the mass majority of my brothers. So
Right. Well, it just seems like to me, I agree with you. I think we all need to get along, black and brown people, and I know you can't with everyone, but it just seems like that the white man's, the white folks down here where I'm staying now because of my job in Southern Ohio, they're loving this. They're loving this. They don't have to do nothing to Mexican and black people and Haitians. They're letting FBA people do it. And they're letting them put the stuff out on the thing. And this white man come up to me yesterday, and he was like, I heard listen to one of them FBA guys, and I'm not going to say which one, and he said, white folks don't have to do nothing to people of color no more, or Mexicans. Y'all's doing it to each other. And I'm sitting back thinking, yeah, that does make sense, man, because it does seem like that FBA, it's like we're hating our own people. And it's like Trump's bringing in white South Africans, racists, and then taking out black and brown people. And we're happy about it. I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying.
Right. No, I agree with you. I do agree. I don't agree with those talking points because I'm looking at it like, hey, if they would do that to them, what would they do to us? I mean, I'm looking at the history, the fact that the white man did make agreements and treaties with these people, and then they broke them, as they always do.
Right.
And I do know that within the last few years, we had 140,000 less farms. I do realize that we're not getting any fresh fruit and vegetables nowadays. Why? Because all of the farmers were illegal immigrants. And
right.
At the end of the day, even the ones who aren't illegal, they're still getting harassed. We got so many stories of people getting packed up who are citizens. So we know that this has become a militarization. And that's, to me, that's kind of, I think it's a little bit radical and extreme. And it gives them room to put martial law on everyone. When you get to manipulate the rules to target specific demographics and use the military to do it and have people voting for it online, I think that's problematic because I'm anti-system in general, not just my personal gripe towards any specific group. But that's just my look on that. Yep.
But see, like you always say, which AI is taking over. Trump done signed that bill with AI. AI is going to take over everything. So even the white supremacists or the white people think they're better. Like I told the ones here where I stay, AI is taking over your jobs. And the elite don't like white people. The elite people don't like white people either. Poor white people, because they think they're like it's funny living down here. What you live down south too, but like here in Southern Ohio, you'll see Trump rebel flags, and then you'll see some black people down here with rebel flag. I mean, I'm like, what the?
Yeah. There's a lot of what we would consider black conservative groups, and that's the thing.
Well, Ricky Manor on YouTube has a rebel flag.
Let me bring this out about Tyreek real quick, because I respect the fact that Tyreek he says, I've heard him say that Democrats and Republicans are racist. Like the people who run it. He said, look, he don't rock with either one. They all white supremacists. That's exactly what he said. And I stand by that because I see it the exact same way.
It's both ways.
They all white supremacists. So when I see FBA brothers who happen to be strong right-wing conservatives, some things I'm just not going to agree with. Because I guess I see the whole picture here. But yeah, I'm gonna let you close your sentiments, your closing talking points, and I'm gonna bring in some more guests.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say one thing. I got relatives in Springfield, and I know a lot of Haitians, and all that stuff about that was not true. I got relatives that's lived there their whole life, and all that stuff about the dogs and all that was all straight lies. So,
okay. Well, man, thank you, brother. I'm gonna be bringing in the next.
All right, thanks.
Feel free to join.
All right, anytime. Peace out, bro.
All right,
peace out, bro.
Peace. All right, we're gonna bring Alonzo in. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. What's your thoughts?
What are we talking about today?
Hey, we're talking about the uprising, the immigrants.
Oh yeah, it's crazy, man.
You gotta be prepared, bro. You gotta be listen. You gotta be prepared. You gotta know what we're talking about on these streams, man. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, because we cooking right now. You know, if you don't know what's going on in the show, then sit back a while, learn what's going on, and then perhaps I'll let you join in later. Judah, what's going on?
Yo, what's going on, Nubreed? How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. What's your thoughts, my brother?
Man, look, this is just is no other way to say it. It's just part of Babylon, man. This is part of, you know, the this is just the wretched whore, man. It's part of her wickedry, part of her wickedness on full display. You know.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, we looking at it, bro. We looking at it. If y'all look at your screen, this look like the stuff that movies are made out of. I mean, look at it. The people are facing off. They're in the middle of the road. None of the cars are moving. I mean, it looks like all hell about to break loose, and all they doing is protesting. This is First Amendment, and of course, those people who protesting aren't illegals because they would have been packed up already. Think about it.
No, you got a point about that.
ICE would have snatched them up already. No, this is actually targeting a community, a marginalized community at this point. And if you look at that chat up there, you see all the American flags. Everybody think this is a patriotic, righteous thing that's happening. I disagree. I disagree. I believe that this is pushing us towards the government having more power, more surveillance, mass incarceration, martial law. And I just don't think people seeing it for what it is. And I don't think we should normalize what we're seeing here.
And this is how it starts. You give them an inch and they take a mile, man.
Yep. Like, look at this.
You give them an inch, they take a mile.
They look like they're in the middle of Iraq.
Bro.
Yo, I mean, are we serious? We have never seen, listen, that Operation Wetback this is the same exact thing, bro. This is turned into a complete militarization, man. But bro, like, I'm gonna let you go ahead and bring some closing sentiments. I'm gonna bring the next guest in.
Man, I just want to say, man, that same thing I said when I first got on. This is Babylon's wickedry and wickedness on full display. Don't be surprised when that you give them an inch, they take a mile. Don't be surprised next year there'll be something greater to a higher frequency. And we'll be looking back at this time right now and saying this was the foreground. This was them laying the ground zero for what is to come next.
That's
all I got to say, brother. That's all I got to say.
Real talk, my
Shalom.
brother. Shalom. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, that brother's right. He's right. Brother Magic, what's going on?
Sister Magic, how you doing, Nubreed?
How you doing, Sister Magic?
I'm good. Yeah, I just gotta chime in and say, side note, I was privy to this information for the last, like, say, 2 days when I started watching the feed, and apparently today, they were playing like a jingle in the background, and I remember that sound, and that sound was actually from The Purge. Nobody's mentioned that. I am, yes. Go back. You're gonna have to go back, and I know you will find it. I was on someone's platform, popped up, and you heard. I heard, and I was like, "Wow."
You know what's interesting? The last Purge movie that came out was towards the Spanish people. You remember that?
Yes, I do. Make sense, and it was with the Spanish woman and the girl, and they ran, and then they opened up this truck. Remember that big truck, and they had all the ammunition. There you go.
And they were
nobody's talking about that.
Man.
Yep, they were hiding out. That's why I had to drop it on your show, but to let you know, because I haven't heard anybody mention that. Because see, I got eyes and I got ears, and I'm a chosen one. And I've seen so many, like me and you, we would have to talk offline because I can't tell you everything online. This is why I don't have a platform, because I know they will definitely come for me. But what I'm saying is that I heard that sound And I said, that's the purge. It was yesterday. I said, wow. So you can't say that they didn't tell you what they were projecting and anticipating to do against them. Because guess what? Remember Michael Brown. Remember all these other people. Our people was in those streets. They sent the cadets and everybody for us. They was dressed in black. I remember them with the hats on and all that. Remember our black sister that was out there and she stood up to them? It's the same mirror image. It's just that it's them now, but it was us.
That's right. And you know, they like to use that predictive programming in these movies because these things be planned years in advance. And if we gonna just follow this from looking at the Purge series, right? What would be next? Blacks in New York, because that's who the target was next. If we
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna blow your mind. So I have a friend that works in a law firm, and his mom lives in one of the projects in Harlem. And he did a video feed and he posted it on Instagram. And he said, what is going on here? I really need to know what's happening. And this was last summer. Do you know that they have all these gates up and things sealed off in the projects in New York City, all around, and even in Brooklyn? And they're saying that it's maintenance coming to fix things. They're doing reconstruction, or they're boxing those people in. Now, I already had premonitions. I already had dreams and saw what was going to happen next. Like I said, I'm not going to say it online, but the kids can't go play in the playground because it's a gate up. It's locked and chained. So it's almost like they're pre-programming them. So my thing is, when it really takes off and these people start zip lining and coming out of helicopters, start shutting down all these areas, they're going to trap these people in the projects. They're not going to be able to get out.
I absolutely agree. And you know what? We have that foresight. But when that stuff started happening, guess what? Then people going to say, damn, maybe we should have said something when they were doing it to the Hispanic people, because they're doing the same thing to us. And they've done many things like this over the years. Don't get it mistaken. And I'm not just trying to throw it out there, but like it's just the Spanish people. No, listen, the children of Israel have been targets. They've been targeting us, all demographics other than those who are pretty much white. And I mean, and this is not for all white people. Well, you know, there's Gentiles that rock with what we doing too. But let's make no mistake about it. If you are not them, you are the enemy in their eyes. That's why Trump went over there to Africa and got those white Afrikaners and brought them over there. Because as much as we don't want it to be about race, it's all about nationality and bloodline. And they want to take out the children of Israel, and anybody who's standing in the way, they're a target too. So that's just
You're absolutely right. And then on top of that, we have to look at the fact that they have a master plan. And their plan is to eliminate us at any cost without any type of force from us, from our people. They've been doing this to us. I believe that this time, it's unfortunate, but the Hispanic community had to wake up. And this was their wake-up call. Because in the end, it's going to make sense when we all come together. Just like, I don't know if you remember, what was it? It was like a type of it was like a transformer. And back in the days, it said Transformers, robots in disguise. For everybody to get together on the same team from the Israelite family to say, you know what, enough is enough. Because if you think because your skin is white and you're Caucasian, let me tell you something. Before they made that song, I will vote for Donald Trump. Didn't they see what happened in Puerto Rico? When he threw the paper towel and said, there you go. I'm sorry.
Yep.
You're Hispanic. Your people are indigenous. That didn't dawn on you but they wanted to assimilate, and they effed around and they found out.
They found out. You preaching, sister. You got it. I mean, that bridges the gap right there. So for people like, well, they sojourn with them people, well, they get what they get. It's a wake-up call, like the sister said. It's definitely a wake-up call for them. And it's also something that we all got to look at. And the outcome got to be that we start sticking together. If you agree with what we're saying, we got to stick together and come together. But
really quick before I tune out and before you close out,
absolutely,
I'm going to tell you what they started doing with the past 3-4 years. They started targeting our younger family members. I would say that's not blood. They're not technically, but they are our younger African American, Hispanic, between the ages of 16 to 21. And they started rolling up in their hoods and saying that they're doing all this gangster music and doing all this Crip music and all this type of, and they had helicopters over these projects and they were taking them out by the numbers and filling these jail cells. We need them out. We need them out, and we need to hold these rappers accountable for making that. It was the drill music. That's what it was. Do you know how many of our brothers and sisters got locked up behind that in New York City? Not only in every borough, Nubreed, in Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, Staten Island, they took them out at least 30 to 40, and they're still locked up on these islands.
Wow.
They got them. I'm serious. So they gotta get them out of there.
Right, absolutely. And see, there's a lot of illegal, treacherous things going on, y'all. And so when we turn a blind eye to these situations, those people go unheard of, and they're allowed to keep on doing these things in mystery. Like, nah, we got to call this stuff out. But no, I want sources on all of that too, if you can. We'll definitely chop it up, and I want you to feel free to join anytime, because you dropped a lot of jewels and made a lot of sense of what's being said here.
And last but not least, I'm gonna drop you with this one. It all started from back in the day, and I'm gonna take you back from Harlem. I'm gonna take you back. They used to have the Caucasian teachers go up in these classrooms. They used to look at the students. They knew which one was gifted because they knew our bloodlines from our mother's placentas. So when we got to a certain age, they would go into our classrooms. They would take us out one by one and show us pictures and say, what does this look like? Because I remember it happening to me. And I was born here, but I was raised in Barbados and came back here. But I remember this Caucasian teacher, and I said, it looks like a butterfly. And they were taking our Hispanic kids and Black kids and offering parents up to $5,000 or whatever to send them to Ward's Island, put them on medication and take them out the class, and said they were problem students. This goes deep and it goes way back. So it's a lot of stuff I'm going to drop on you. So a lot of these crimes and a lot of things that happen, these people, they set you up from the womb. From the womb when you come out. And I work in the medical arena, and I'll tell you more.
Absolutely. Well, we definitely going to open up for dialogue on multiple topics, and you feel free to join anytime, and we can definitely chop it up. But I got a loaded queue. I'm gonna bring a couple more guests in, so I thank you for coming on, though, and we'll definitely chop it up about different topics and scenarios, because I can see you knowledgeable, and I can see that you know what you're talking about. So feel free to join anytime.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, that sister brung some truth, and she's right. They do target from birthing, but I want her to hold that. She look. We got a loaded queue, but I know she gonna be bringing it, and she gonna join on another show. Pardon me. Let's see. Let's bring some more guests in. Ash Floors. Am I pronouncing your name right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. What are your
How you
thoughts?
doing, brother?
I'm doing well, man. I can't complain.
That's good. Yeah, I've been watching your stream lately. That's pretty wild stuff out there.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
man. That Babylon's falling.
That's right.
Very quickly. Dissolving, bro.
Dissolving.
The Most High is coming down.
Yes,
Can't wait.
Yes, sir. Hey, bro, you said it. You said it. And that's exactly what's happening. Babylon is falling. And like I said before, man, we're gonna see a lot of cities looking like this. Imagine just getting on the news and this is what you see in every other state. That's the signs.
Yeah, it's like that movie, The Civil War.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Gotta stay prepared, man. I've been, preparing, like.
Where are you from, brother?
Arizona.
See, that's
Mesa, Arizona.
That's another one of those places. Are you seeing a lot of this happening there so far with ICE?
No, not really.
Okay, good. That's good.
Yeah, most Mexicans out here, we're very conservative here, but I'm
Absolutely.
definitely not a Trump supporter, but some Mexicans here are Trump supporters, which is like
That's
super
interesting.
weird, bro.
that, yeah, that's interesting, man. That may be part. Listen, there's everybody under a strong delusion. You know, of all walks of life, people under that strong delusion. And listen, let me say
Yeah.
this too. And this is not just to target Donald Trump. I don't, for the record, those watching may be new to my platform. I'm against all politicians. I don't care. Democrats, Republicans, Biden, Trump, I don't care. I'm not with any of them. I believe that the children of Israel should have leadership at this point because look at the world without us in leadership. You know, the
Yeah.
world is in utter calamity. And you know what the Bible says, when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. There's nothing but mourning going on in this
Yes,
world.
sir.
So that's my take on
Yeah.
it.
No, not for sure. Yeah, we don't have any, we don't have these kings, Christ is our king, God is our, our priority versus, these kings that are just causing oppression, bro. It's pretty wild.
Absolutely.
They're just trying to conquer us. But we ain't staying down.
That's a fact. No,
We
no doubt
got this,
about it.
bro.
We got this. That's right. Man, come join us anytime, brother.
Yes,
Anytime.
sir.
Thank you, brother. All right. I ain't mean to cut you off. Thanks, fam. Uh yes, I see Hebrew Care in the building. Salute. Peace and blessings. Y'all know how to support Hebrew Care. Nubreed, globaltruth.com. Hebrew Care says Judah is not joining yet, but the scripture said we are going to war again with our plow hooks and garden shears. The Most High hands is all in this. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, the world powers believe they bring in order out of chaos. They got it twisted. They got it twisted. The Most High is the one bringing the order out of the chaos because everything that's happening is for the greater good of those who love God. I don't care what race you are. Everybody who loves the Almighty, everything that's happening going to work out for the greater good of them. And eventually, the tribes are going to join. Wow, look at this. It's getting crazy out there. This look like the scene from They Live. Y'all see this on y'all screen? It's getting wild. I mean, they just snatching people up. They protesting out there because if they were all immigrants, ICE would be packing them up. I'm gonna bring in the next guest, Mr. Wild Seed. What's going on with you, brother?
Boy, this here man look
Man,
like they live, and I'm just reading the ICE like it's anti-international Christ enforcement. So all the tribes gonna have to get together because they just getting people off the. Like I'm looking at this, them folks were just sitting up there and they just snatched them down.
facts.
Man, this here it just shows that we got to be on our position. I just was having a talk with one of my elders in my family. Oh, that's a shame, man. They could break that man arms like that. That's
Right.
a shame, but we all
Tragedy.
got to know our position. We need those who gonna speak, teach, and unfortunately, we got to get our gonads up and know that some of us gonna have to die for this.
Hey,
And this is war. It is ugly. It's like the Cat Williams joke. We're gonna need some Harriet Tubmans. We don't need no Beulahs. We need some folks who willing to get down and get ugly with it, because they definitely not caring about the color. Only thing
absolutely.
they caring about is keeping their jobs and doing what whoever the higher up tell them to do. They nervous. They scared.
I mean, just think about it. Look at the comment section of this video, Mr. Wild Seed. It's
For
people
sure.
cheering. They literally are cheering this on. Somebody said, "Get the taser, get the mate." Like what? I mean, like look at what kind of world we living in. Now,
Straight to
these people are protesting. And I don't know if y'all knew this, but the I believe it's the captain of ICE. He just got unmasked last month for running a white supremacist Twitter page. Like he was behind the account. And it's like a popular account of like where all the bigots and all of that come
yeah.
together. So we know who these people are behind these riot gear masks and these people with these police suits. These are the white supremacists. Now,
Yeah.
we know who they are. So white supremacy didn't just affect quote unquote black people. The white supremacy is affecting all of us, right? So, eventually, man, the tribes do got to come together, and the scriptures tell you that they would revere their brother Judah. All of the tribes will come to the king tribe and say, you know what? Y'all are the ones. So there's going to come a time where these people are going to say to the foundational blacks, Americans, to the tribe of Judah, you know what? Y'all our big brother, and we're going to follow y'all's lead. That's what's going to happen scripturally, regardless of how, regardless of how your personal feelings go. Biblically, when it comes to the other tribes, that's how it's going to be. I don't care what tribe it is, Haitian, Cuban, Panama, whatever. They all gonna come to us because why? We've been in the enslavement of our captors, and we've been right there with them the whole time. Ain't nobody been close to the white man like we had. We worked with them all that. We know everything about the white man. We was in our houses. Our women was raising their kids, breastfeeding their babies, all of that. Ain't nobody been close to the white man like black people.
Yeah.
So
and another thing I want to touch on.
So let me say this. So guess who gonna have the best war tactics? Who gonna lead the tribes?
Come on now.
And this ain't all physical. This ain't all physical I'm talking about. But we know them more than anything. That's what they're afraid of. And that's what Malcolm X said. Malcolm X said they're afraid that we would take the same violence and oppression that they did to us, and we would bring it to them. And that's what this is all about. So they're making an example out of other people. That's what they're doing. But go ahead, brother. I'm gonna let you go ahead.
It's straight fear.
Let me thank Hebrew Care for the super stick. I appreciate it. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, for sure, man. But it's straight fear they operating out of. But it's fear of what they know they consciously did. It's all spiritual, but they know that it's time for them to go ahead and pay up. But what I wanted to touch on was what Sister Magic said. I remember being in school, elementary school in Atlanta, and 2 years before I started going to middle school, they pulled me aside, right? Thankfully, my mother was working in the same I'm gonna say the name, Oakno Elementary, and they pulled me aside. They gave me the little dot test. They gave me an ink test with the pictures, like you were talking about. And they tried to put me on written, but they wanted to put me in gifted classes. My mother got wind of it and said, "No, we're not putting my son on written. Ain't nothing wrong with him." They tried to tell her, "Oh no, it's nothing but a vitamin," thinking that she wasn't, knowing what was going on. So I had to leave that school. So what she said, I can attest. That's true. It may have been happening in New York, but it definitely was happening down here in the South. Because I remember they had me tearing up.
Absolutely. Targeted since a child. Targeted since, absolutely. But man, I thank you for coming on, brother. And I'm gonna bring more guests in, man. Join anytime.
I appreciate you.
All right, peace. All right. Now I'm gonna bring brother Alonzo back in now that you had some time to kind of hang around and see what was going on. So
Yeah, it's kind of tragic.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's tragic, especially what they're doing. Because did you know that Trump didn't go the legal way when he deployed the National Guard? He just went straight through and terrorized the Mexicans with all the tear gas and shit.
Yeah,
I won't be surprised if it's gonna happen to other races too, like blacks, indigenous people. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
absolutely. Yeah, and I think you're seeing it for what it is now, and a lot of y'all can kind of see what's happening here. This is not just about our personal feelings towards people or our personal experiences. This is more so, look at what they're doing right now in America. Is this lawful?
Yeah.
Is this something that we can stand behind? Meanwhile, listen, the people are cheering. You see listen, they singing "Ice Ice Baby." You see all the American flags. Look, Babylon's gonna be destroyed.
Hit a reporter right in the leg. Yeah.
Babylon gonna be destroyed, and listen, and the people are complicit with its destruction because the people are in agreement.
Yeah, the
People
people
are in
saw it
agreement.
coming, man. Yeah, because Trump had the problem with the Mexicans, like even way back then. Remember when he built the wall, right? And
Yep.
now they're terrorizing the hardworking Mexicans because they work hard, but they're illegal, but they're not really criminals. They're just getting like targeted because Trump wants all deported, stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, you're right. And I want y'all to think about it. When they were building up the damn high rises and the highways, and they were doing all the farmland, nobody gave a damn about no green card.
Yeah. I think they just want to use them for like cheap labor and shit because Mexicans are really hardworking. You don't see a lot of American workers these days, and now they're getting deported just like that, and not even in a good way, like just straight up boom ICE.
Yep. Yeah, I agree, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate
Yeah,
your input.
yeah. Thank you so much.
All right, peace. Yep. Let me bring Little J in. What's going on, Little J?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How's it going?
Hi, I'm over here watching the live and everything, and something had popped on my mind. You remember the Simpsons? I'm over here watching the live.
You got to turn it off in the background, bro, because I can hear the
Oh,
echo.
hold on, my bad. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, like remember like with the Simpsons and stuff like that. Remember how like they had the glass shield thingy around America, and you couldn't.
Bruh, I'm gonna let you get situated, and let me do this one person a favor up in the chat. Let me just there you go. I don't have my stream deck right now, my sound deck, but yeah, another one just got escorted out of here. You know what I'm saying? We ain't have to bring the riot gear. We ain't have to do none of that. We just had somebody come through and quietly just slide them up out of there. But yeah, I don't know what happened with Lil J's audio or whatever, but I'm gonna let him get situated and I'm gonna bring the next guest. I'm gonna bring Set Apart for Ya in the building. What's going on? Yep.
Hey, Breed. I'm sorry for the delay. I had to unmute.
Oh, no problem. No problem. How's it going?
Shalom, shalom. Good here on my end. How about you?
I'm doing well. Can't complain at all.
Nice to hear. So, I'm F FBA, and I'm in California. Um, so my whole thing with this, I agree with you to a certain degree.
Okay.
Um,
Talk to me.
okay, so
I
the
want to hear
part.
all your agreements and disagreements.
See, I have like extensive I'm I have like a very cultural background. Let's just put it that way. And like I said, I'm a foundational Black American. I live in California, so I've had the opportunity to grow up around all races. My family is blended for one. Um, we
Okay.
have Filipinos, Mexicans, like the whole nine, like in my family. My little brother is half Mexican.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, and my daughter is
Let me ask
actually
you something before you get into it.
okay.
Um, if ICE comes snatch your little brother up, how you gonna feel about that?
Well, he was born here in America,
I know it don't matter because
and
ICE
his
don't care. ICE
he
don't.
looks
They gonna be
more like
like, who's this
us
little
than
Chico?
them.
No,
I'm not even.
they're gonna be like, who's this little Chico right here? And they snatch him up and they put him in the ICE van, and you gotta go pick your little brother up. How you gonna feel
Oh
about
no, I highly doubt that. Now, my daughter, on the other hand, like I said, my family's blended. I'm with a Caucasian man.
it? Okay.
And we got together and we made Mexicans. Like the way that our children look, they everyone assumes that they're Mexican or Latino before they assume that they're mixed with black and white.
Okay.
So,
So let's get around
and
to your
she's with a
disagreement.
Mexican man and pregnant. So that's
Okay.
one of my worries right now.
Hey,
Um,
let's set apart for y'all. Let's get to your disagreements, and then we can carry on from there because I want you to be able to get your point across before we get more guests in. All right. So
Okay, so I do agree where fair is fair. I don't think that it's fair for them to deport US citizens. However, now there's a lot, and there's some, I won't say a lot, but there are some that are here illegal, and they've been here for years. And if we're looking at it from the perspective of how Donald Trump is making all these tax cuts or all these cuts to public funding and different programs, I think realistically it's kind of fair
I
because
mean, well, I don't know if you've been here for the entire stream, but you know, Los Angeles was owned by these people at one point. So I know what it looks like on surface level right now, but this is a longer history than what we're seeing right now. Los Angeles, Arizona, various places. I'm not sure if you are familiar with the fact that they own these places.
yeah, I'm very familiar with that California. And like
Mm.
I said, I was born and raised here. So I was born in a border city, which is San Diego, California. And I actually lived in Mexico for like 2 years. So I
So
know that California is
let me just
considered
ask
like
you,
Baja California or certain
right?
parts of it.
Set apart. Let me just ask you this: do you think it's fair for the colonizers to make an agreement with the Spanish people and then renege on their agreement through violence, inflation, and manipulation? And now, after they build up the country, they go ahead and pack them up and ship them out. Do you believe that's fair?
No, that isn't fair, but I do think that it is fair for those who don't have like everything together or avoiding like visas. And I'm not trying to like throw anyone under a bus or anything because like I said, I know a lot of different races, and I've grown up around Mexicans my whole entire life. And I do know like enough from like speaking to different people of that race, like about like their status and stuff, because like I said, I have a ton of friends that are Mexican, and they feel comfortable enough to have certain conversations. And
Okay.
I do know that like from what I've gathered, that some don't have everything together as far as like citizenship, but yet they are able to get on like government funded programs like disability,
Okay.
welfare, things like that, Section 8, all of these things. And
Well,
that's what I disagree with. I'm a
okay.
taxpayer, and
Understood.
if my dollars aren't going towards, because I don't agree with the cuts to these programs for one. So with that being said, if I have no choice or say in that matter, um, I think that it's pretty fair that my tax dollars don't go to someone who's not a citizen as well. I'm just saying. And
Okay.
that's my
Well,
perspective of this.
all right. Not a problem. All right. I appreciate your perspective and thank you for joining.
Thank you, Bree, for listening and having the patience with me.
Absolutely. Not a problem. You have
Shalom, shalom,
all right.
King.
Shalom. Peace. Well, I mean, I understand where her point is, but the white man doesn't even own this country; he stole it. So, really, if we want to go there, I can go on and on with this. Really, we all should be living off some land, and nobody should be dictating who has what. But anyway, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. At the end of the day, these people help build the country up. America, the white man lied, manipulated them, tricked them, frauded them out, and now they're engaging them. And they're not just engaging illegal immigrants. To be totally frank with you, they could have just created a task force and went after all the drug mules, and we would have been good with that. If they would have took this same energy and just went after the drug mules who's bringing all that damn fentanyl up in here, I think we'd be in a better place. And far as where our tax dollars are going, Listen, there's so much misappropriated wealth that goes on in this country. We can't even begin to break down the semantics of where our tax dollars are going at this point. We just can't. We can't even do it. It's all a sham. It's all a scam. This kind of chaos that we seeing looks like Babylon falling. That's just my thoughts on that. Let me bring in Isaac Hayes. What's going on with you?
What's going on, bro? You hear me?
Yep, I can hear your engine too. It's pretty loud, but
I'm yeah, I just hopped on. I just want to make it real quick. The movie The Siege by Denzel Washington, Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Explain what you're talking about right now, because they targeted a specific group in order to bring in martial law. But everything you were just saying before the last one is that we know about the history. We know they attacked what they know. No one listens to us at the end of the day. So until they start, when God wakes them up, it's gonna be this. They gonna keep engaging them, getting them to riot and fight so they can get more control. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That movie though, The Siege, I would people check it out because it's real.
Hey brother, we having a hard time hearing you.
Okay.
Having a hard time hearing you. But I'm gonna let you out. But I heard what you said. I'm gonna break down what you said to the people. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, he was talking about the movie The Siege with Denzel Washington, how they targeted one group of people, a marginalized group of people, in order to institute martial law. That is what's happening. That's the predictive programming behind all of this. That's what's actually happening right now. They picked a marginalized group of people, and what are they doing? Micah 2:1, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon them. That's what they're doing right now. Let me see. Somebody says, that's a good point. How can we defend where our tax dollars are going when there's no evidence, paper trail, invoice, or what each other our tax dollars are being spent for? Exactly. That's my point. Because the sister said her tax dollars are going towards Mexicans using Section 8. I don't know how we can prove that. I mean, where did she get that data from? Because in all honesty, I believe personally, if you want to be not even a belief, if you want to be factual about it, our tax dollars are going to the rich. They're going to the rich. The more taxes we pay, the richer they become. The more taxes we pay, the richer the white supremacists become, not Mexicans. Mexicans on Section 8 is the least of our problems. Mexicans on Section 8 with green cards that work, doing the hard work that you don't want to do, is the least of our worries. It worked for years. It worked for years. And I want y'all to feel free to hit the link. There's a lot of people very active in the chat. Y'all very vocal about how y'all feel. Just, don't be intimidated. Click the link, join the show. I want to see some new faces. I've had a couple new faces show up. If you never joined a Nubreed broadcast, we are intellects over here. We do not shun people's opinions. We do not block people because they have a difference of opinion. We only block people who are disrespectful. We block people who are disrespectful. Let's see. Somebody said, what jobs don't we want to do? Well, when I say we don't want to do, I'm not speaking of all of us as a whole. I'm talking about what most people don't want to do. What most people don't want to do. Most people don't want to build high-rise buildings or be on farmland or whatever. And there ain't no shame in that because black people built the country. We shouldn't want to do too much of nothing but collect our check. So don't think I'm trying to call black folks lazy, or don't think I'm trying to call any race of people lazy for not wanting to do that. We already built the country. We deserve to be getting our paycheck. We need our reparations. You know what I'm saying? We tired of building up your country, and we see how y'all do people. Look, the Mexicans got Jesus's love up there. Look, these are ethnic people too, man. They out there in the streets too. I'm well in the culture of my Spanish people. Y'all feel how y'all want. I love my people. I know there's some racist ones, just like there's racist people in every demographic. But this is bigger than that. Let's see. JC, what's going on, brother?
Yo, Nubreed, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You're loud and clear. What are your
All right,
thoughts?
everybody. It's JC is Base. I actually run my own YouTube channel. You can follow me at JC is Base one on YouTube. Just search up at JC is Base. But I just had a quick point I wanted to make about what you're saying. We need to quit this divide between Mexican and Black. I swear to God, that is a fake divide. Like, that shouldn't be there. The reason why people are saying Mexicans are taking our tax dollars and it's like, guys, most of your, like 10% of your taxes actually go to what they're supposed to go to. Most of it is being passed around. A lot of it's paying government employees. It's paying people who are literally being paid to oppress you. They're literally they threw that out as a tactic. They threw it out as a tactic to basically disalign like people of color with each other because they want us to be arguing. There wasn't nobody talking about you taking my tax dollars. If you're going to talk about somebody taking your tax dollars, Black people are taking a whole lot of tax dollars. White trash people in the trailer park are taking a whole lot of tax dollars. Nobody's ever said anything about it. But nowadays, since Trump ran for president, and I'm not even anti-Trump, but since Trump ran for president, it seems like just people just want to throw out this narrative like the Mexicans are taking all your tax dollars. And it's like, guys, I get it. A lot of cities have went bankrupt because of, illegal immigration. But dude, everybody wants to be anti-Mexican until it's time to go work in the field. And it's like, we should be paying those people more money. People are like that whole thing with like, and then I don't want to call the lady out, but she did say that she has a white husband. And, women with white husbands, including my own grandmother, they do tend to echo the values of their white husbands. So it wouldn't surprise me if the woman is the man she's dealing with is putting his back. Wasn't nobody talking about this.
Yeah,
we are people of color. Mexicans don't even speak English. Half of these people ain't even benefiting from Link or anything.
Yeah, you're right. No,
These
you're
people
right.
getting paid under the table, and you worry about something being taken from you. You need to worry about them spending your tax dollars on the right thing. Take the beam out of your own eye first.
Exactly. Yeah, we need to be worried about our civil liberties and our freedom, and the fact that the right to protest, the First Amendment, is being literally, destroyed right before our eyes. I mean, literally. I mean, these people started off with a friendly protest and it turned into a riot. But white people.
And notice how, as soon as these new agers jump into this, is where I feel like these people are being placed in the same thing with 2020 with the BLM. They're placing the bricks on the ground for you to throw them. They're placing these crazy kids from college to burn up cars. Watch no Mexicans burning up cars. You've not seen. You cannot pull up one video of a Mexican burning up a car, a Black person burning up a car. They tore down Kobe and Gigi's mural.
Right. Now, a lot of this is theater. A lot of it is theater. All of it, everything we see is not true. You only can believe half of it. Now, what is true is it started off as a friendly protest because their people was being harassed in the community who were not illegals. There were people being harassed that wasn't drug mules. There were people being harassed that were regular citizens. So what ended up happening is Trump, as audacious as this is, he sent for the damn National Guard. Now that's crazy right there. So now, it gets wild. All they need is one of these Antifa people to spark things off, send somebody in the midst of chaos, create the chaos, and then be the solution. And that's more of what we should be looking at right now, opposed to, our own personal experiences. If they can do that to them, then look, if we need to protest, if they decide to put their knee on another Black person's neck, right? like George Floyd, and y'all go out and protest. If they go get the National Guard and they start snatching y'all up, y'all gonna feel some type of way about it. Which I don't agree with protesting and all that. We don't need to do that at this point. We didn't march enough. We need to free
it's too far gone.
Yeah, we need to free ourselves. All that protesting ain't doing nothing for Babylon. They're gonna take advantage of that protest. But now I'm gonna let you go ahead and definitely, speak your mind, closing sentiments. I'm gonna bring a couple more guests in, but you bringing it, brother. Go ahead.
Perfect. Yeah, my closing sentiments are just, guys, you can find me on YouTube at JC is Based. I make my own videos. I go live. But also, yeah, I just wanted to echo what Nubreed said. It's just like, guys, this is not don't look at the Mexicans after they just sat here and built the country for 30 million years. They just sat there, and they're the reason why you have a cut lawn. I see it every day. I live in the hood. The Mexicans come cut the grass. It's not black people. It's not white people cutting the grass. The Mexicans come cut the grass. They've done every hard job. They've built some of the houses you've lived in. And now the country all of a sudden wants to turn their back on them once everything is built and we ready to automate this all with AI and we good without them. Man, that's bogus. I don't care what anybody says. That's messed up. And that's how you know when you make a deal with this system and when you make a deal with certain European people, because not all of them are bad, when you make a deal with them, you're making a deal with the devil, period. And there's 1,000 videos to prove it of not just protests, of people in relationships getting unalived, people, all types of stuff. Don't make a deal with the devil, y'all. It's 2025.
No doubt. I agree, brother. Thank you, man. I'll check you out, and feel free to join anytime.
Perfect. Have a great night.
I don't know how many subscribers you got and all that, but
772.
Man, once you get popping, send me that invite. Matter of fact, send me the invite before you get popping. So
of course, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
For sure. Thank you, brother.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Peace. That's what it's about. Got to show support, man. What happened to the sister that dropped out the chat? You was up next. See if you can click back in. There was a sister in there. Let me see. Somebody said they got to make America seem like the end goal. Yeah, America is imploding. America is being destroyed from the inside out, and the whole world is watching. Somebody said, has anybody heard the talks of the Mexican president? It explains a lot. I haven't heard that. Let's see if I can locate that. That's interesting. Let's do that. Mexican president responds to Trump. Okay, I didn't know the Mexican president was a woman. I didn't even know that. Yeah, she has a whole press conference. Okay. Wow. This is really escalating. And as I pull this up, y'all feel free to join the link. Again, shout out to all my FBA brothers and sisters. Shout out to all my Israelite brothers and sisters. Shout out to all my Hispanic brothers and sisters who are cool. And y'all rock with black folks. Shout out to all my white folks who are cool. And you rock with black folks and Israelites. Shout out to my Gentiles that rock with Israelites. What makes us so powerful is our uniqueness, right? But anyway, let's see what the Mamacita got to say. Let's see. Let's go there. Let's see.
2 days ago, the United States Immigration and Customs Service began carrying out a series of raids in California, particularly in the city of Los Angeles.
No, I didn't. I did not know the Mexican president was a woman. I did not know who the Mexican president is. Believe it or not, Nubreed is not all knowing. There's some things that may be common knowledge to you that I don't know. It may be some things that's common knowledge to me that you don't know. But anyway, let's go.
And they detain As we now know, we are in contact with them and their families through the consular network, 35 Mexican men and women migrants who were living there in the United States. We do not agree with this way of addressing the migration phenomenon. Raids and violence are not the way to address the migration phenomenon. It is by sitting down and working on a comprehensive immigration reform that takes into account all the Mexicans who are on the other side of the border. That is our position. And always a call for peace, for nonviolence.
Yep, and that's all she's saying. Like the way that it's being addressed, and she's 100% correct. I mean, look, here's the thing, man. You know, they practice their right to protest. Donald Trump engaged them with the National Guard in violence. That ain't the way you deal with that. They have the right to protest. And if there were illegal immigrants protesting, those people would have got packed up and shipped out by ICE. But they're not. This is communities that are protesting. Because why? Their community is being harassed. Now let's go.
To review all the issues related to IMSS Bienestar, the United States is what it is truly, also thanks to the dedicated work of Mexican men and women who live on the other side of the border. For us, as we have always said, they are heroes and heroines of the nation because they selflessly help their families. And
she's right. But what I do hope is that Mexicans get their wake-up call. You cannot align yourself with white supremacists. You have to get rid of that colorism that y'all have. That colorism mind frame, thinking that you are accepted by white people. They don't give a damn about you. They hate anybody who stick together. And they know that Mexicans populate a whole lot. And they know y'all stick together. That makes you a threat. So y'all thinking that y'all can align yourselves with them? No, they're going to portray you 10 times out of 10. That's what they do. And hopefully y'all get the wake-up call. But let's go.
And support the economy of the United States. Public, the bare minimum so that everyone can reach. The Mexican men and women who live in the United States are good people. They are honest men and women who went to the United States to seek a better life for themselves and to support their families. They are not criminals. They are good men and women, honest people. The best teams, the work of Mexican men and women in the United States must be recognized. President Trump.
I mean, tell me where there's a lie. We know that the Mexicans work hard. That was a running joke from our people, man. You working hard like a Mexican. We know damn well them people worked hard and built this country. And we know that a lot of them didn't have green cards that was on a construction job. Some of y'all didn't work with these people and they was cool. So like, you know, it is what it is. But let's continue. I'm going to let her finish. I'm going to start letting guests back in. Let's go.
Did so when President López Obrador went to the signing of the trade agreement with the United States, President Trump's words, if we review them, were words of recognition for the work of Mexican men and women in the United States.
Let me get this right. Let me see. Let me just address this real quick. What we get it, Bree. Your wife is one of them, so of course you're gonna take up for them and claim they had the land and all that. But truth is, this ain't our fight. This our land. Though I am all for my people. Well, no, Mexicans actually did own Los Angeles. This is a fact. I gave you all the details. They did own California, Texas, Arizona. These are all Mexican owned. Literally, I can bring out the facts. And you know, that is, JC said it. That's a low base, low hanging fruit argument. Yes, my wife happens to be Spanish, Mexican, whatever you want to call her, Hispanic, whatever. But that has nothing to do with right and wrong and how I personally view the situation. It doesn't. For those who haven't been around for a while, I've been repping for the 12 tribes before my wife. I've been telling brothers, look, brothers, you got women of all tribes you can choose from. I've been saying that. Why? I mean, of course, you can stick with your own tribe, but look, you got 12 different women you can choose from. That, and if you end up with a Gentile, I'm not going to judge you on that either, because that baby's going to be your seed. So I'm not here to show partiality. I've been the same way for years, before my wife and now. I've been about this black and brown connection. I've been about what's right. I've been about exposing white supremacy and how they treat people in general. So, you can't say that I'm lying about them owning that land when I brung you the facts. I brung you the history. I don't want to have to keep repeating the same articles, the same history, the same books that I brung out. Now, I'm going to bring in some guests. We're going to go to Hello Quan Z. What's going on with you, brother?
Hey, what's up, bro? How you feeling, boss?
Man, I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. It's Halo. I go by Halo,
Okay.
but yeah, bro, you have really good insight. I've been noticing your growth, and I've been noticing your spiritual growth and your emotional growth as well.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
I have and trust me, the way I ran into you, I know I'm not gonna say no names or nothing like that, but you already know.
Oh, yeah, it's
But
a lot of them trolls, a lot of them demon clones, scoffers.
yeah, so
Yeah,
all
we let
right,
we let them we let them we pray for them people. I'm at the point now, since we addressed that, I don't have no problem addressing it. I'm at the point now, I just pray for those people. I'm not gonna sit around and unless there's a reason to expose something that I see fit, I ignore all of the little.
yeah, but that's how I got introduced to you. So you feel
Okay,
me? Yeah, so
that's
like
good.
that,
That's good.
huh?
I said that's
Yeah.
good. I mean, hey, that's perfect, because that means what people wanted to do is sow discord. I was able to meet a brother through the midst of all that, so that's good.
Definitely, bro.
Yes, sir.
And I've been following both of y'all for like a quite some time though. So it's like I'm honored to meet you though.
Me too,
Definitely.
brother. So what you think
And
about the situation here?
all right, so my insight, is going to be a very unpopular opinion, and
Okay.
I just said it. I've said it before. A lot of people care about the melanated man image being attacked, right?
Yeah.
I d- I'm gonna tell you why. First, I'm gonna say I don't care. That's one, and I'm gonna explain myself as
You don't
well.
care about what? Our image being attacked?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
explain that, brother.
yeah. I explain my case. I care about the Most High's image being attacked. Okay,
We are in his
so
image. We his image.
well, this is the thing though.
Hmm.
I care about righteousness being attacked. So
Hmm.
right and wrong are the main things that I care about as far as our image goes. Like so, because we do ourselves dirty. We do ourselves dirtball altogether anyway to begin with. As far as like the unrighteous or just living in this worldly behavior, practicing this worldly behavior. And it's sad to say, but I understand the insight behind why we should possibly save our image as far as black men goes. But like you said at one point in time, you said, we're not them. So like try not to, and I don't feel like the Most High wants us to be like our enemies to begin with. He does. You feel me?
Yeah, brother. You got to be clear of what you're saying though, because you're saying that you're not for us fighting for our image. And
No,
I
I'm.
I believe, I'm the founder of the image reclamation movement, and The goal is to reclaim who we are. The goal is to expose all of these nationally syndicated publications that wage war on our people by only displaying us in a negative fashion. See, that has affected our minds for generations. I mean, literally, it affects how we think about ourselves and other people because negative stereotypes have been perpetuated on our image. And we need to fight and stand up to change that because nobody wants to talk about that. World Star Hip Hop, Shade Room, the news media, all of those different mediums and platforms are used to sensationalize Black degeneracy.
This is true. That is true, and I give you that, and I completely understand where you're coming from. Like,
And look, brother, if we don't fight for our image and say, hey, the people that y'all display on these websites and, these programs, they don't represent us. If we don't say that, nobody will. Nobody is going to defend our image but us. And so that's why we started the hashtag not for sale, because people are selling themselves to the image of the beast. And we're not having that. They're not going to be able to exploit us anymore.
And that's the thing, though. As far as like what you just said right there, we're selling our image. Well, people are selling their image to the beast. I feel like because I feel like everybody's image in some shape, form, or fashion is being attacked. Whether people understand it or not, just think about how like what we're looking at right now. Just think about how their image is being attacked right now. It's just that we was attacked first. So now it's starting to spread out, like the attacks is starting to spread out to different cultures.
I agree with that. Well, thank you, my brother. You feel free to join anytime, man. Thanks for joining. And we actually coming across our time restraints pretty soon. I normally on these broadcasts hit the 2-hour mark. But
I feel that.
Absolutely. I may go in for a few more minutes, but I want to thank you, bro.
Hey, I want to thank you as well, man. I still be following you. I still be watching and keeping up. So I
Absolutely.
appreciate you. I appreciate you truly. I do.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah, man. That's what it is. Hashtag not for sale, y'all. Hashtag not for sale. And if you want to support the image reclamation movement, if you want to support the cause, y'all got to go to nubreedglobaltruth.com and purchase some of the merchandise. You know what I'm saying? We got the not for sale t-shirts. We got the image reclamation t-shirts. Somebody said, nah, you sound like a sellout to me. Oh, okay. All right, real flames. You just stick around. Sooner or later, you're gonna find out who's who. The Black Art Kingdom says we gotta make Nubreed a celebrity. You know, I'm already a child of the Most High, a brother, a man of the Most High. I don't want to use the word child. I'm a man of the Most High, and in my own right, I'm already celebrated by those who love me. I'm already celebrated by the real. I'm already celebrated by the righteous, by the select few, by the remnant. So when you say let's make Nubreed a celebrity, I'm not for sale. Them celebrities, they for sale. I ain't like them. This is all organic. This is all grassroots over here. And I don't have a huge following, but the following I have are real people. They not bots. The following I have to look for my content. The following I have didn't come from me selling out or being aligned with some of these ad companies or being a sellout to certain platforms and companies and whatever. This is all organic. This is all real. Yep. And if y'all absolutely, Jamie says if y'all want to hear Nubreed's music, Nubreed Universal ENT is where you can find it. Jermaine says keep going in, Breed. If y'all join the link, I'ma go in. It's y'all time to talk. It's y'all's time to have the floor. Jen Gabriella says, God bless you, Nubreed and family. Thank you. I appreciate that. God bless you as well. Keena, God bless you. Jermaine, Double D Animations, Jordan, Looney Tunes, Tyrone David. One love to y'all, man. One love to y'all. Y'all know where the Cash App at. Support the Cash App. I'm going vegetarian. Maybe y'all can pay for my veggie plate tonight. Maybe y'all can help a brother out, pay for the veggie plate. Maybe y'all can pay for the steamed squash and all that. I'm going vegetarian for a couple months, man. Your boy Breed then got to what, 185? Well, I was 187, 190, 190 last week. I'm back down to my 183. I'm gonna drop some pounds. I'm gonna do it the vegan way, not the vegan way. I'm gonna eat cheese. I'm gonna do it the vegetarian way. I went on a fast. I just came off a 2-day fast. I went on this 4-day fast 2 months ago. Do y'all know after I finished that fast, I gained like 15 pounds? Easy. Brother couldn't stop eating. Brother couldn't stop eating. But now, I'm going to try this vegetarian thing for a few weeks because, man, I think they serving us human beings, bro. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. You got all these cemeteries. They the same size. Where all the meat going? Where all the people going? I can't do it no more. I feel like I don't know, bro. I feel like they serving us people, bro. So I said, nah, I'm gonna go vegetarian for a minute. It was a time like I was on a grill every day. And I ain't judging people who eat meat. I'm gonna go back to eating chicken. Don't get it twisted. I'm gonna go back to eating it, but I need a break. But that KFC chicken, man, that Joan, it kind of traumatized me a little bit. Yep. Hey, Soylent Green, Kim C, you right. Soylent Green was based in the year 2022, for real. That's when it started. Yep. Are they cloning meat, 3D printing meat? Look at Trump up there. Look at Trump on your screen. Let me see. Let me take the sound off of that real quick.
A few words, and I think then I can't.
Hold on. Let me get to what Trump is talking about here.
They were having out there. They were afraid to do anything, and we sent out the troops, and they've done a fantastic job. So I want to thank them very much.
They sent out the troops, and the people still are revolting.
I also want to thank you for being here as we discuss one of the most exciting parts of the one big, beautiful bill. It is indeed a...
Yeah, Trump definitely did that. They was like, we love you, Trump. We vote for you. And now look, it's the wake-up call right here. You can't trust these people. All of you black conservatives that's, you know what I'm saying, glazing Trump, that nigga don't care about y'all. Trump do not care about y'all. He'll do y'all the same way. All you black conservatives out there, he don't care. The moment when he get the time to throw y'all under the bus is on. Anyway, let's go.
A big, beautiful bill, and it's doing very well. The Trump accounts, as they call it, pilot program, which will make it possible for countless American children to have a strong start in life at no cost to the American taxpayer. Absolutely no cost. It's going to have a huge impact. I want to thank House Speaker Mike Johnson for, number one, being a great speaker, and number two, perhaps slightly less important, for being here today. Thank you, Mike. Along with Chairman Jason Smith, who's fantastic.
Yo, shout out to Jalen Thomas for the support on the veggie plate. Thanks for thank to Jalen Thomas. Support on the veggie plate.
And Representatives French Hill, August Pfluger, Blake Moore, Rob Bresnahan, and Frank Lucas. Thank you all, fellas. Thank you very much. We appreciate it very much. Thanks as well to many top business leaders from Invest America, CEO, Council. It's been a wonderful council. They've come up with some fantastic ideas. We're putting them into use. They're really the greatest business minds we have today. These men and women lead large, successful companies, and they're committed to contributing millions of dollars to the Trump account. And it's really, it's going to be something incredible.
Y'all sending millions of dollars to the Trump account? That's crazy. Hold on, let me put my banner up real quick. I know it's late, but so y'all can see my socials, other socials, and so forth. And make sure y'all follow me on X, man. Make sure y'all follow me on X and Instagram.
Incredible for children and for their employees in many cases. Here's how the accounts work. For every U.S. citizen born after December 31st, 2024, before January 1st, 2029, the federal government will make a one-time contribution of $1,000 into a tax-deferred account that will track the overall stock market. In other words, it'll be pegged to an index that will pay.
Well, look, we're not going to get into all of that right now, but, you know, there's a complete war going on in L.A. Shout out to the Hispanic people who not letting these people just get over on them. Shout out to the Hispanic people who are tired of being harassed, who out there holding the fort down, protesting. I don't want our people to protest no more. But see, here's the issue. These people, our Hispanic brothers and sisters, are just learning the hard way that, these people don't have no respect for you. But they also not gonna just let them come in the community no more, harass them. They doing what they got to do. This is war going on. This is a land divided. America's gonna fall. The war is here. It is what it is. Look, I love each and every one of y'all, man. Thanks for showing up, brothers and sisters. We got more material coming. It's about that time. I need to go ahead and get me some sustenance. I'm finna get me a veggie plate. It's been an honor building with y'all. More material coming. Turn the post notification bell on to all my guests that join the show. Thank y'all. Yes. Y'all have a blessed evening. Shalom and peace.